The battle was over before it even began, or so the world thought. For 20 years, the Israelites had lived in the shadow of a nightmare. An unstoppable army led by a general named Sisera, backed by 900 iron chariots that crushed everything in their path. The people of Israel were terrified. They were outnumbered and outgunned. But the prophecy was clear. The glory of this victory would not go to a general or a king. It would belong to a woman. Most people expected that woman to be Deborah, the wise judge and prophetess. But God had a more unexpected hero in mind. Enter Jael. She wasn't a soldier. She wasn't a leader. She was a nomad, living in a tent, caught in the crossfire of a war she didn't start. Her family had a peace treaty with the enemy, making her tent the one place on earth where Sisera felt he could finally breathe. As the Israelite army routed Sisera's forces, the great general fled on foot. He was exhausted, disgraced, and desperate. When he stumbled upon the camp of Heber the Kenite, Jael stepped out to meet him. She didn't reach for a sword. She didn't scream. With a voice as calm as a desert breeze, she invited him in. "Turn aside, my lord," she said. "Do not be afraid. This is the moment the tension peaks." Sisera, the man who had terrorized nations, walked into the trap of a woman the world considered weak. He asked for water. She gave him milk. He asked for a blanket. She covered him with a rug. She treated him like a guest, lulling the predator into a deep, vulnerable sleep. But Jael knew the stakes. She knew that as long as Sisera breathed, the oppression would never end. She didn't have a spear or a bow, so she reached for the tools of her daily life, a wooden tent peg and a heavy mallet. The silence of the tent was heavy. On one side, the most powerful warrior in the region. On the other, a woman with a household tool. In a single, violent, and decisive moment, Jael drove the peg through his temple and into the ground. The unstoppable general was defeated by a tent peg. When the Israelite pursuit finally arrived, Jael walked out to meet them. She didn't boast of her strength. She simply showed them the man they were looking for. The iron chariots were gone. The nightmare was over. The story of Jael is a reminder that power isn't always found in armor and armies. Sometimes the greatest victories are won in the quietest places by the people the world overlooks. She wasn't trained for war, but she was ready for the moment. She proves that when the mighty become arrogant, it only takes one person armed, with nothing but a tent peg and a steady hand to change the course of history. God doesn't need a giant to take down a general. He only needs someone willing to stand their ground.